Now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining us. It's the weekly Clarion Niantic User Group meeting. Today is the 9th of July 2018. As always, questions, queries, issues, problems, feel free to raise your hand. We'll get the microphone opened and we'll cover the subjects. Now I know a couple of questions which we do want to cover for people today, but we'll see if other questions pop up first. No further updates really to report, as in nothing's been released. Work obviously still going on in the background with the various different wrappers we do, including the Chilcat wrapper. Been some work on that to do with the socket and string builder this week. And a bit on the JSON as well, so that's good. And also we need to start doing some work on the cryptography class as well, so that will actually come into it as well very shortly. Oh, and SFTP, that is almost ready to be released, so definitely a lot of work on that this week, but nothing actually released. So okay, so any questions or any issues, problems, challenges, so to speak? No, all very quiet. That's a good thing. But one of the questions, although he's not here at the moment, but I'm just going to cover in a bit more detail, was for the report control. And just let me open up an example application. And it was basically the question of getting the data, an easy way of getting the data into the report control, but not using the browse enhancer. So bear with us 1 second and let's see about getting an example for, this is for Pete. Now he's not here at the moment, but I did promise I would actually raise the subject, so we'll do that now. Okie dokie. Okay. So we'll just open that up. And let's open that as well. Okay. Okay. Let's quickly compile. So as you know, there's different ways that you can get the actual data into the report control. There's the manually populating. You use the add row or add child row, depending on what it is you want to build. There is a browse enhancer. There is a data bind, and there's a list enhancer. Now, Pete was the one who posed a question last week regarding the template setting for getting the data out of a queue. Now, that option should have been hidden because that's not actually been released. But you can basically emulate and do exactly the same thing just by using the list enhancer. So let's take a look at that. So basically, here's a page loader browse which has got an enhancer on it. That's great. That's a file loader browse with an enhancer on it. That's great. All Pete wants to do, he doesn't want to necessarily interact with a Clarion list. He just wants to populate some data in a queue and put it in a report control. And as I say, that facility should have already been in there by now. But you can do it using the list enhancer. The list just doesn't have to be on screen, really, I suppose. Oh no, we will. Actually, I think it would want to be on screen. So let's just choose one of these, create ourselves a brand new procedure. And then I can send this as an example to anybody who requires it afterwards. Okay. So we're going to build a standard Clarion list. So we need let's pull those across. going to do a list enhancer. Sorry for the background noise. Got windows open. Just let me close them to a little. Just one sec. Sorry about that. Okay, so new procedure, list enhancer. Normal window, nothing exciting. Okay. So, of course, with a Clarion list, we're going to need a queue. And this was the original thing. This is the original remit which Pete was asking. He's got a queue. He's happy to manipulate the queue and so on and so forth, but he wants to get that into a report control. So we're going to create a local queue of, we'll call it data. Not sure what tables we've got actually. Customers. Okay. So I'm going to create a local queue of customers. And we'll just have some bits of information on there, something like, we'll choose some fields out of the customer table because it's how we're really going to populate it, maybe have a local one as well. So I have the company name, maybe line 1 of their address, postcode and telephone number, something along those lines. And maybe a balance, and you'll see why I do that in a second. It's just going to be, I'm just going to make that up, calculated field, so decimal 92. Okay, we'll put a list on the screen. Okay. That's customers, and we'll have it coming from our queue, of course. And then we'll give it some particular fields. Oops, on that one. So pad out what we need. Okie dokie. And a balance, something along those lines. The data can be right justified. Okay. And of course, we're going to need to get some data in there. So what I'm going to do is just quickly put a button on here to say load. So far, so good. And it's not really, rocket science what we're doing so far. I'm not sure who uses legacy or ABC, so I'm just going to use standard set commands and next commands. So clear customers, go through in, doesn't really matter the order actually, we're just going to go in file order. So we'll break. Oops. Okay. One thing we haven't done is free our queue. So in here we'll clear that, and then we're going to actually just go and just get those details through us. So all we're doing at the moment, there's nothing to really to do with our control so far, but all we're doing at the moment is saying, okay, we just want to get some data into our local queue. Actually, that should have been a clip there as well. And just to show it can be calculated, I'm actually going to do a random. So anywhere between 0.001 and 1999.99. So that's going to get us some data, and then we'll redisplay our list because I just want to see it working at the moment. So free our queue, go through the customer table in record sequence, and just get the data into that queue. Take a quick look at that, and we expect that to show us just the data, in a Clarion list. Got a question. I'm just trying to get the question box a little larger, and for some reason, go to meeting, go to webinar is playing up. Sorry about this. Won't be a second. John, can you see the questions?
Yes, I can see them.
For some reason, my question box is playing up. Got Peter saying, why clip the customer data? Probably force of habit. Sorry. Yeah, force of habit. The whole of the GoToMeeting is locked up on me. I take it you can still hear me and it's being recorded.
Yeah. Yep, everything looks okay.
I can't see attendees. I can't navigate any of the options. Completely gone. Make sure nothing is playing up on that.
All right, I'll read the questions to you.
Oh, hang on. Let's come back into live 1 second. Roberto about calendar. That was another question. I think we've got two. And Peter just asking why am I clipping? Just force of habit. Your data is really up to you how you want to do it and so forth. It was just yeah. So let's have a look at what we've got. And at this moment in time, we should just have. Oh, it didn't want to be an MDI, did it? Okay, load. There's some data. Brilliant. So now we're starting to replicate what Pete has got. He's got a queue of data, and obviously I don't know how he loads it and so on and so forth. This was just to replicate. This is what he does. Now we want to do a report control over the top of that. Now, of course, you could, instead of reading them into a queue, you could have used the report control yourself and call the add row. But there is more work involved in that. It gives you by far the most control, but there is more work because you would have to add the row and set the field cell values / captions. Or, of course, you could prime up a group and pass that group structure as the one of the last parameter to the add row. Now, both would work fine, and so on and so forth. So you don't need a Clarion queue technically, but of course we're all used to using Clarion queues. We use them all the time in everyday life. So what you can do is say, okay, enhance that list for us. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go to our extensions. I'm going to go to the report control, and it's a list enhancer that we're after. So I add that. He wants to know what list. So there's only one. So it's list. That's great. Not going to put edit in place in and so on, but of course, could play about. Appearance, we're just going to go with our standard appearance. Of course, you can change all these, so on and so forth. We could play about with the inlines afterwards, which we will do. Actually, we'll turn them on just to show off, so to speak. Now, if you were to manually build a report control, at this point you would have your column definitions. And this is where you would say which columns the report control should have. Now, this is enhancing a predefined entity, a list. So it doesn't need to necessarily prompt for the columns, because you've already got them painted in your Clarion list. So what it will do is automatically read that that definition, and of course the content, the data content out of that. So we're going to basically, what you can do is override. We don't particularly need to. We might do in a minute, but we don't need to at the moment. So now, if we take a look at this, we go into our screen. Now we've got a report control. The Clarion list is hidden. It takes on the dimensions and all the settings, as you can see. Now we load, and somebody tells me it's going to want to repopulate. Better go and check that. Let's have a quick look. Won't be a second, just opening up the class here, which will help me. Oh, okay. Make sure we've got our class name. Can't believe I didn't miss that a minute ago. I always like to keep it nice and simple. So report control. Let's have a look at our embeds. So now I'm not bothered about that display, and I'm going to say we want our report control. I would have thought that would have actually automatically kept yourself in sync then, to be honest, but it didn't do. So basically I'm going to do begin to a list, sync rows. And you can see it takes a couple of parameters. One is progress bar, just in case you've got, your queue has lots and lots of records in there. Then you can pass it the handle of a progress bar, which it will unhide, update, and then hide again once it's basically done its job, so to speak. And then a refresh, which we're probably going to want. So we'll say, okay, yeah, we want that. I think let's sync rows. Not that, but yes to that. Okay. So here, go through, there's our data, random balances, but that's fine. And we should see those changing every time we go and reset. So that is one of the easiest ways, I would say, for you. If you're using your own internal queues for whatever, maybe collating a load of information, calculated data, whatever, and so on and so forth, and you want to populate a report control with that data, that's how I would recommend you do it. There is there's going to be that change where you can say just draw the report control yourself and then say the data content is from a Clarion queue. But to all intents and purposes, that is a enhanced list. So, and the beauty of having the enhanced list is, of course, that you would actually be passing these values back. So that is going to get in me clicking on that row there is the equivalent of the new selection on the list, and your Clarion embed points would actually carry on working. So there's something to be said for that. We mentioned column overrides. So let's just say the telephone number. No, the company name. We don't want you to be able to move it around. We definitely want to keep that at the start, and you can't delete it. So that's where your column override would come into it. We go into here, go across to our columns tab. This time it's overrides rather than definitions. And we choose that particular column, which is, we said company. And what we're going to say is, yes, we want that to be a particular minimum width. And we don't allow the drag, we don't allow you to remove, we do allow the auto resize, so on and so forth. Take a look at that now. Read our data, that's fine. We shouldn't be able to go and pick that up, which we can't. We can do the address, we can do the postcode, so on and so forth, but we can't do the name because we said we don't want it to be basically maneuverable, so on and so forth. Just one other thing to consider then is if you're using the inline filter or inline search, which is pretty good, your data's, it's a queue, so all this is going to be so fast because you've already populated your queue. So if you're using those and you do reload your data, or you just load it once when you first go in, then just one thing to bear in mind: if we turn on the inline filter, and we will purposely give that a particular color to make the two stand out. So I'm going to go with the filter being very subtle orange and the search being a subtle green, something like that. Bit garish, but just to demonstrate, so we know which one's which. Now, if I was to run that after we've loaded our data, there's no value. Oh, no data. Sorry, but there's no values. Oh, there is some values. I knew that was one of the changes we did, because that used to be a bug, and I remember it being fixed, but I didn't know it got out. Okay, prove me wrong. I was going to say, just let me look at that. It's very good. It's working. Won't be a second. Sorry about this. List underscore sync. So it's doing the sync. But it's, yes, sorry, it's there. Yeah, the fix is in. Where it will rebuild after it's basically called a sync. So it will sync the content, which is what we're doing. Then if you've got these active, it will go and rebuild them. So it's exactly what it's done. So I was going to say, just watch out for that type of that kind of bug, if you will. But it's not. It's there. Okay. Any questions on what we've covered there? I think it's pretty straightforward, but it's always worth asking. No? Okay. So hopefully, Pete's still not watching on this one, but I know he does play catch up and watch them on the YouTube channel. So basically, and this will be uploaded, first thing in the morning. So yes, basically, you'll be able to accomplish what he's after that way. And as you can see, it's pretty simple way of doing it. Okay, Roberto. Let's open up Roberto's mic. Hi, Roberto. Hi, how are you doing?
Okay.
So, calendar. Google Calendar?
Yes, with the chill cat.
Okie dokie. So, I only remembered on this, I did promise to send you a beta of the new class, which will make things a lot easier for you. So let's just...
I'm still crying over that. But that's okay.
Okay, right, so...
Nothing in my inbox.
I forgot. We've got an apprentice in this week.
No. I know what the deal is.
It was nothing to do with the football on Saturday.
Yes, it does.
So
England's in the semifinals.
yeah, pretty good. Okay, so your example won't look anything like this. In fact, it'd probably be more just a query, like so. Correct?
Oh, No, I just have the 3 buttons on the top, and that's it.
Right. You don't have any.
And,
so if you do a query.
yeah. But I don't know. Yours, you put on the user, you're putting your email address. And on mine, it will not work if I put my email address. I have to put the email address that's in the Google Service Client JSON file.
No, that's
there's a long name there for the email address, and that's the only way I can get it to connect. Otherwise, it will not connect.
Okay, well, let's go through. I haven't got any calendar events so I'm just going to.
You want my file?
Well, you don't really want to broadcast that on here. I'm just adding a couple of.
It doesn't matter. I can always take it out and make another one, right? I mean, it's really not that big a deal.
Okay, yeah. Send it through privately, obviously.
And they only get access to to my calendar, which only has one thing on it. It's like.
Okay, now you've probably got an example which shows something like this, which is the JSON return value.
It doesn't return anything. I just get an error.
Right. Okay.
No,
well, that's not good.
Actually, I did get a connect, but I had to. I'll send you my file because you're. Let's see, Chillcat. Okay, Robbie Renz. Okay, here it is. Go to Andy Wilton. There we go.
Okay. Well, basically,
I send it to your Skype.
While we're waiting for that, we'll go through some of the basics. So basically, I've got what I've just done over here. Open up Google Calendar, put a couple in. Okay.
Right.
Now, if I re-download all again, I'll still get the 2, but that's only because a couple of things you've got to watch out for, and we'll go through some of the basics as well. But a couple of things when you do the download. So I'm clearing out the next sync token. Without that, okay.
That's not in the other code.
Technically,
on the other
in the class you've got, yeah. Oh no, that's not in there. No. But if I was to connect query, I expect it to tell me from a query result 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
I don't get it. I say mine says you didn't get anything.
Okay, well, we'll try yours in a second. So, but this time it'll say no events. Now that's because it's querying from the last sync token. So, just for examples in here, I clear that out each time so that it will always go and get anything it can find.
That's fine. I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get something.
Okay, no problem. Where's my Chrome? There it is. Let me just pull Chrome over there. Okay. So now the steps. I need to get it right. Need to add to this demo for the OAuth 2, but it's kind of irrelevant. The OAuth 2 or the service account.
That's right. We're sending the JSON. Yeah, it's not using OAuth 2 at all.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with the back and forth of the data and so on and so forth. Once you're connected, the OAuth 2/service account is basically it's just getting you your connection
and it uses the JSON file. Yeah,
so on and so forth.
Which is a lot easier than you doing the OAuth 2 actually.
Oh yeah,
it's a lot more trouble for a client to use, because usually if you use OAuth 2, then the client can just put their credentials in there and get over with. But this way you got to have them download that JSON file and so on. So it's easier for us.
It would only be
the developer.
Well, no, I disagree on that. Only from the point of view, one particular application this has gone into is they're running multiple appointment books. So you could go into I can't show the software, but you could go in and you could have 5 different, one calendar, but 5 different, it's using our calendar as well. So, a bit of background. So you've got the Kojak calendar, our wrapper and so on. You've got multiple people on show, multiple schedules. So it could be my calendar, your calendar, so on and so forth.
Right.
All within the same business, same
application. And the other way you could have one logged in
same organization.
Yeah.
Now what was needed there is the sync wanted to occur, but the sync for, let's say there's mine, yours, John's, so there's three books showing on the calendar at one time.
Mhm.
I use the Google Calendar. You use the Google Calendar, and John doesn't use the Google Calendar. Sorry, John, not picking on you. But so basically, the way I tackle that is because it's and users can be shown and hidden on the fly. So what I do is I actually create a queue of all the calendars which I need to sync with Google, and I declare the class on the fly. And create the new OLE containers on the fly. So it's getting a bit heavy duty. But the point I was trying to make there is, putting that aside, is because you've gone in via a service account, then the credentials are really for that service account, the admin, and then this bit is what user do you want to emulate. So if your organization had Robbie at Niantic.com and dev at Niantic.com, I can query two separate calendars. So I have to have two connections, of course. One class for the dev at, well, for my calendar, one class for your connection for yours. But that's no problem. You can have many classes as you want, memory permitting, and so on and so forth. So basically, it works by having multiple connections, but the service account really comes into its own there because that's already been authenticated and given permission to emulate a user, and that's the whole point of it. Is the service account is for a domain. So if you had Niantic, so I've got dev, and let's just say I had A.Wilton and W.Wilton and different users set up in there, then when the connection, you're saying connect using those credentials, but emulating that user. So when you set up your service account, of course, you need to be able to set up the service account with enough information, so on and so forth, for the domain. You don't have to be hosted with them, and it's nothing like that. On my domain, I'm using Office 365 for the mail and so on and so forth. The hosting I'm doing myself, and so nothing is with Google. I just say I want, from a service account point of view, to access any accounts I set up in Google with the Niantic domain. So it works really well for that.
Is that something you have to set up on the Google?
You also, there is a second step. Now I know David's done this and he's here, so I don't know if it caught him out. But you create the JSON, so you create the service account, you create the JSON, download the JSON, but then you also have to go on that user's account to say, I give, basically permission for my email, my user account data to be accessible. And you might not have done that last step.
Yes, I did that too.
Then we'll try your. So we'll just bring David in if he's here. Hi, David.
Hey, Andy.
Hi. So I am correct. You use the calendar quite a lot.
I knew you were going to do that. It's a service account.
And you go by the service account. So can you think?
Yeah, it's hidden in there. We walked through it.
We did. We've done. I think mentioned it a couple of times, haven't we, on here? But I forget when, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think the only challenge that I had was, I think they have the domain or something. One of the fields there, I had wrong.
I'm just going to go into mine.
Something else, but yeah, you kind of have to go there to see it.
So you can't use the Gmail, just the normal Gmail account?
No, because I think the whole point is you're trying to emulate a user within an organization, and they consider the organization being controlled via the domain, that type of thing. I think.
That's right. Yeah.
So you can't use a Gmail account.
No, it's service account.
No, you have to use the
a Google Apps account.
Yeah, the $5 a month deal.
Okay.
Not just a free, any Gmail account. You have to go and set up. What do they call that? It is their apps. Where you have their.
That's fine. I'm gonna send Andy then my Google Apps account then, which I also set up, which doesn't work either.
Okay.
Okay.
I got to work there.
I'm just going into mine, but I'm making sure there's nothing. No hidden details on here first before no.
It doesn't matter. I can delete them. It's just I'm just trying to make it work.
I think it's their Google Suite account, right?
Right. And I have
That's
that.
got all their stuff on it.
It's it's a bad deal because I'd like the Gmail account to work. You know, it'd be great.
Yeah, but
I guess that doesn't work.
I think you can do the Gmail account with the OAuth. I think that's
Right.
That's what you
Yeah,
want.
but we don't have that set up yet. That's
if
what
you don't have the OAuth set up, then the reason we did the service account is because we needed to automate it.
Yeah,
You know,
and
we went out running automatically, so we don't want an OAuth ever to show up. You know, it's a background batch syncing job, you know, that runs on a machine every hour or whatever. You know, it syncs the calendars. And so it needed to be unattended. And in order to do that, that was the Google Suite, and then set up a service account, and then go into the calendar account and tell it that the
Yes, and I
service
did all
account
that.
has-
Yeah, I did all that.
Then after that, it seemed to work. But, you know, there's a lot of little steps there, so any one of them.
Right.
Setting up the service account was kind of weird. That's the part that I was talking about. So when I set up the service
Yes.
account,
Right.
And
What kind of
you want the
credentials did you
information.
put on it? Like, there's all kinds of credentials that you put it. You just put it as an admin or as a. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them.
that's what I did. You know, I set it up under the admin.
On the owner. There's one that's called owner. I don't know if that one was good enough. I would imagine. I don't know.
But
It-
is it worth switching to your screen so we can actually see?
Because the service account I put is mine. You know, that's the person, you know, like, kind of like going setting up a developer account
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, you know. So I set that up as me. That's the service account.
Right.
But then the Google user account was separate, was a different.
Yeah,
And I don't
I
think it matters, though, actually. You can have the same name. You know, like I could use the same account as I did to set up a Surface account.
Yeah. I don't know. I can show my screen and show you what to.
yeah. Let's
It's
go.
probably it's probably the domain, too, that you're using. I don't know if that has to do with that account or not, but I think that's why I used ours. So I used my email account throughout, I think, and then our domain.
Okay. let me-
Okay, over to you. Yep. Okie dokie.
I've got a few of them.
Crikey. It's like the Saint.
Okay. Come on. All right. So this one's a real one of those. Okay. And I go to my calendar, and in my calendar, I already set up that I want to share it. Okay. So from here, I can go to like the, what's it called? The shell or the,
Well,
what do they
can
call
we go
it?
to? I was thinking there's an area you want to go to first, where you created your the actual.
Okay, let me add. Okay, I'll add the thing there. Okay, I've got one, right?
Okay.
Okay, now in order to configure it, we go to the. I think it's here, isn't it?
We
One
got two
with-
places, right? One in the account and then one in the whole Surface account deal.
Yeah, you want to go to the Surface account as well.
So how to go to the service account?
It's a separate
you're
login.
right.
Yeah, it's something like admin console, is it? Something like that.
Yeah.
Console, that was it. Console, Google developers. Developers console, there it is. So I'm still logged in, right? That's
Okay.
me. I'm logged in here, and I go to roles service accounts. There we go.
Okay, so you've got
there's
one- you've got-
there's my calendars. I've got two of them even, or three of them. So this one's I don't know. I can delete them all if you want to.
Yeah, let's delete them because you can go through and create again.
Okay. So let me delete them. Okay, let's create another one. Create a service account. Service. MyCal. Let's call it MyCal3. Select. This is where I don't know what I'm supposed
Just
to grab.
slow down a little.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so yep. Back up to the top. I'm trying to think what I did. I struggle getting into mine as well at the moment. Typical.
So I should just put owner there?
Yeah.
Project owner?
Yep. That's fine.
Okay.
Now, enable G Suite domain-wide delegation. Service account to be authorized to access all users' data. That's where the email address will come into it, because then you're emulating.
Okay.
And you
That's
want
where
and
I didn't do it.
You
then.
also want to do new private key as well. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, save that.
Chillcat. So we'll call it
MyCal3.
MyCal3 Roberto Renz. Okay. Sys Renz. Okay. And
Okay.
so I go here and I go to MyCal.
Don't. Yeah, what's I'm going to say? Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
Okay. Just let's run the example.
We got some information in there. Okay.
Okay.
And usually what I had to do was copy this to my email address.
No.
And it works. It connects. But it shouldn't, right?
No. Yeah. That's not what you're not connected to this account.
Okay, so we'll run the Chillcat.
Load up the little demo.
You still need to set something up there, don't you?
Yeah, I was going to say there's another step. You're missing another step here.
All right.
Now,
because you haven't gotten to the part that I didn't get right.
Where you give authority.
Yeah.
All right.
Trying to remember what it is. It's not under that. It was under
settings, roles. And that's probably the one I'm missing, because I did all kinds of stuff. And maybe settings?
Just 1 second.
Oh.
Location. Could that be it?
No, I don't think so.
No. I'm just trying to find it myself on mine.
Might go to roles. Yeah.
Okay.
From memory, I don't think it's actually under here. It was more.
Was it on the other side?
Yeah, basically. Oh, I'm going to bring my screen in, but
on here on the calendar.
Go to admin.
I remember there was something in the calendar here that said something about sharing or something like that, and I did turn that on. But I don't know where it is now. It's also
view options. Just got what's view options? I don't think it was in here. If you want the truth, it was more under security. I'm sure you went under to the main Google admin, then under security.
Okay. To here.
Yeah, admin.google.
Okay. And go to Gmail or go to calendar?
Let's go back one. Just let me bring mine in. Okay, so you've got different options for me there actually. Your apps. Oh, you've got that's apps. No, you just want admin.google.com.
I did, and that's where it sent me appsgoogle.com. I'm in Reddit account. That just sends me to the calendar.
No. It's just going through this now, trying to find it. No API. Yeah, I'll just quickly go back to mine. Won't be 1 second.
That looks more like it.
Yeah. You see, basically, I've gone to admin Google.
Okay, so you need to be the admin of the Google.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Because you are authorizing basically API access to the organization's data to emulate users. So you definitely need somebody with authority. But you'd only be doing this once, you see, for the whole organization. So that's why it is actually easier. Okay. But it is one little setup task. But once that's done, then running your app and accessing the data, one, is fast, but two, the users don't have to worry about any of it.
Right.
That's where you skip the OAuth and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, basically you're skipping that and going straight to the service account. So I think it was under here, under security, I think. API, you have to make sure that the API is turned on. So enable API interface. I'm sure there was a separate one as well. API permissions, was it?
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
I do have access to that account, so
let's go back to yours.
Just look for it. Reading assessments.
Coming back to you, Roberto, when you.
Okay. I just don't know where the password is. Which one could it be? Could it be info?
While you're doing that, I'll just recap on mine. So I'll quickly go back. Just
all right,
for
go back
anybody
to yours, and I'll find the.
Just in case you're bringing up anything private, I don't want to, put you in a panic and show what you shouldn't show. But to recap for everybody else, the idea behind it is, and we will create the Google the OAuth example. The OAuth, for those who aren't sure, is something like this, where this is QuickBooks, but it's kind of irrelevant. It's OAuth validation. So basically, when we go onto this, what it's actually done is open up, ask you to log in. So you log in, and you'll have already set this up in whatever backend. This is QuickBooks, but it'll be Google, whatever, so on and so forth. And then when that's done, that's granted, we can close that, and you can see that the application now has gone and done its authentication. Then you can go off. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Then you can go off. I shouldn't have pressed that twice then. Just like that, timeout. Be a second. Just waiting for this timeout. Typical. Right, thank you. Okay, so basically, disconnect. What I'm going to do is connect. I'll quickly. It's come up on the other screen. Yeah, I do. I can confirm. So that's the OAuth 2 kicking in, and it's now got a connection. So it's come back and said, yep, you're connected. And now I can go off and start issuing queries against the data. Yours will be for calendars, so on and so forth, that type of thing. Okay, so that's the OAuth part. What we're doing, with the Google is we'll knock an example out for that, for the likes of Gmail and so on and so forth. But if you've got, for the scenario I had, multiple users in an organization who all want to access, your application wants to access multiple users' calendars, then the Google service account is the better option. So you can go in, you create this, you have to be an admin, because you are giving, permission for the whole, your application to
for the whole, for the whole domain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you would create a service account for that, give it the permissions. There is one where I think you go to the calendar as well. I'm sure there's 3 parts. There's create the service account, turn on the API, and I'm sure there's a third part, which is, yes, I want this calendar to be available or something like that. I'm sure there's 3 parts. I have to rewatch our own webinars back. But once you've done that, and it's a one-off hit, once that's done, then you can use that and there you go. You're straight in, and you just type in basically you got a JSON key, and you can have it as a P12 key, and so on and so forth if you wanted to. But basically, you have a key, and then you say within that organization, which the key now is managing, what user do you want to go and emulate? There are your two login credentials. Once you've got those, then you can go playing about and start querying data and changing data for that matter.
Right. Can you go back to the admin section, see where it is?
Okie dokie. So straight admin under security is your first one.
Hold on. Let me.
Well, this is after you've created the service key.
Yes, this is after.
Yeah.
I already created the service key.
Okay.
That's admin.google.com. Okay.
Then do you have to do the apps there, Andy? Is that the? So you do security, then you set up your app?
No, you're not adding yourself as a particular app. You don't need to do that.
No? Okay.
I just thought it was on.
Well, there was somewhere else there that we had to.
There was one other,
it's
and I thought it
in
was
the
to do
apps
with the calendar.
section?
No, you want security,
Oh, okay.
and you want the API within security.
Security. I don't see security. Security. Found it. And then I want API reference, and it's enabled.
Right. Okay.
Uh-huh.
What's a single sign-on?
Single sign-on.
No, it's not. It's not. I was just.
No, we didn't have to do anything.
I didn't have to do any of that. No. API permissions.
API permissions, maybe. Yeah. That was the other guy. Make sure it has access to
Make sure
the
it's got
calendar.
calendar turned on.
Yes, all of it's enabled. From Gmail to calendar to everything. 7 apps, 7 users, it says. Maybe I need to put it on each one of the users?
No, I didn't have to go into every user and set it up.
No, you do a much higher level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all of that's enabled on mine. But where do you add the domain then? Maybe that's it. The readingassessments.com on mine. You said you had to add the domain somewhere?
Yeah, just let me move it over here. I'm paranoid I'm going to show stuff which I shouldn't do. So, credentials manager, let's have a quick look in here.
I thought you set up the domain when you set up the account, the service account. That's when you specify the domain itself, I think.
Yeah, link it to that.
So is that on the console? Back on the console? Or maybe I need to create the key from the user, the main user on the console? Could that be it?
Yeah, try that. What the hell is going on with mine? I've got 2 Google accounts and it's keeping me in as the wrong one and won't let me actually get to any of the credentials. Okay, I'm going to close that. Admin, Google.
Yeah, almost all of it's in the admin section, right? And then just one little piece in the calendar.
It was on the calendar, I'm sure it was. There was 3 in total. Right, okay.
So go to service account. See, there are no service accounts when I use the main. It only appears on each person creates their own service account, right?
No.
Oh,
Definitely
just the admin.
Just the organization.
So I need to create it from the other. Okay.
From the admin, from the
right
admin account that's set up.
I'll call it MyCal4. Did I need to create a new project then? Because it doesn't have one.
Yep.
And then I go to select project, service account. Come on, it wants to create it, but it won't create it.
I can't go into mine. It's giving me. It's actually giving me project errors, and it keeps switching my account back to another account. Which?
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Create service account. So I'm going to do the same thing.
Okay.
My
Coming back
Cal
to you,
4.
Coming back to yours. 1 second.
Okay. So here I am. A new private key. Yes. Enable G Suite. Blah, blah, blah. Product name for the console screen. Do we need to add anything there? Oh. What was that? Oh. It said I'm on somebody else's machine. Okay. Product name for the consent screen.
That's
Okay.
that's for the OAuth.
It's like OAuth, yeah. We don't need to.
I created I put a service.
Yeah, but it'll create you automatically. It'll create you two. It'll create you the OAuth
Okay.
and the service.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Okay, so calendar for everybody. How's that sound? Because then everybody's going to use the same JSON file, right? With just a different email address.
Exactly.
Is that what I understand?
Yeah,
All right.
the JSON file
That-
is the organization.
That makes more sense now. Right.
Not for the user, yeah. It's kind of like you're a
Okay, so
global.
here I am, and I got calendar for everybody, and I put my email ad and I connect, and it does not connect.
Okay.
This is with your demo there, but
Can you go back to
I think it worked with
can you go
yours.
to console.developers.google.com? Just want to look at the credentials.
There it is. I'm already there. You want to look at this one, or
Service account keys.
Is it the enable view client ID there? No.
view client ID?
But there was something we had to do right in that little
Create credentials there?
API
Service
key.
account?
service key.
Yeah.
Service
No,
key.
service key. Yeah, service account.
Select service account. Do I need to create another one then? Okay.
No, there's a number. Oh, crikey. Yeah, I do remember this now. This was a right little pain.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the name I got wrong. This something I put in something else. I don't know what it was. But
Right there.
Yeah,
Go with
no,
JSON.
no, just hang on. Just hang fire. Okay, go back one. Your project's MyCal4. Just trying to see where I did that on mine.
Okay.
Create credentials.
I don't have any, so
Your service account at the top.
yes. I created the service account.
Yeah.
Created two
Okay.
projects.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
selected one.
Right. You see the ID there, MyCal-2097. Grab that.
Uh-huh. You grab that?
Okay. So
Well,
go
select it
into
up
the create
here. Okay.
and service account. Now select that.
So I need to create a new one because
Yeah,
there's nothing
because-
there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
Select the role.
Owner.
And I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we'll call it a new calendar for everybody. Hello, everybody. Okay. Okay. I'm going to copy it over here. And so I've got it here, and I've got new calendar for everybody. Connect. Unable to connect to Google Calendar.
Now, there was one net which there was. Just bear with 1 second, I'm just on mine.
However, if I put this in there, which was that one, see how it connects with that? I copied that off the JSON file, but if I put my real email on there, oh, how about if I put Alejandro's? Nope, not either. It just will not connect. Nope. Save to your computer. So I don't know what I'm missing. New calendar for everybody. See, I've got 2 of them now, plus a service account. Do I need to verify the domain, maybe?
No. No, you don't need to do that. Yep, we did that. Sorry, I'm just reading myself here now. Okay. Go to the console. Yes, brilliant. Let's go down these. Go to your top one.
Go to from the top.
Yeah.
Do you see anything there?
You see, that's slightly different because then I have an organization in mind.
You have an organization?
Yeah, to say the domain. Not verified a domain. I don't have, I don't have like Office 365 takes over the email and so on and so forth. But you do have organization in there.
Well, it's working with our domain. So it should have something like at readingassessments.com, maybe?
No. Yeah.
On the service account?
Let me take you back to mine. Just 1 second. Okay, so.
But it automatically adds this thing.
Okay, you see under here. So I've got organization, noentities.com. I've got this is the owner and the organization administrator, and they're inherited.
But see on the one.
Yeah. And then I can set up my others underneath that. So yes, I've got a service account, which is that particular account, and you get the key, but they belong to this. So I've got a person under there. So I think you're going to need. I think you need that.
Maybe I need to add that, huh? So maybe I do need to.
You don't have to do the domain.
I don't?
No. No, I've never done it.
So go to IM, right? That's where you were? Members?
Yeah, yep.
Add, maybe? New member. Should I put the domain there?
No, I think you want to be adding them under this first.
I'm not seeing your screen. Okay. So you've got permission project. Okay. And then you have that. But how did you add that?
Yeah, try to remember.
See, if we put up there, it says add people, right?
Yeah, admin
And it only adds a person, but it doesn't add a domain. Maybe an identity.
Going back, wrong one. Yeah, you see the organisation. You can see there that then I'm going under there, and that's where you can start going. So I think you need the organisation there first.
So how do I add that?
That, can't remember, it was a while ago.
Could it be on the IAM?
No, don't
There's
think
a
so.
settings, maybe?
I'm just gonna,
Organization name, it says Reading Assessments already there.
just taking a look under here, won't be a second.
Oh, I have an organization now. Reading Assessments. But I can't open it. But maybe I need to create a new project from Reading Assessments. Let me try that.
Sorry, I'm just looking at. I'd have to go back through, Roberto. Might even go back. We covered this in one of the webinars where we did it step by step. So probably it wouldn't do me any harm to actually refresh my own memory, because it must be over a year since I did this.
That's got to be about 6 months, but I know there was 3 steps and it was confusing. You just keep poking around until you get it right.
It kind of made sense, but they weren't quite obvious of where you were doing it. But once you've done it, it's like, oh yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, do this, do this, do this. But yeah, they were a little awkward to find in the first place.
But it is one of those, where you do get to skip the OAuth and you get to do it at a domain and stuff. So it is, once you do it,
It is worth doing.
it's very helpful. But yeah, it's just getting it right. They don't make it easy.
Service account. Page not viewable for organizations. To view this page, select the project.
Go back to yours if you can. Going back to you.
Okay, so here I am. And I have my organization now. And I'm going to try to create an account, a service account in this organization now. Service account name. Well, see if it works. Okay.
Hang on. Why is that newcal blah 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 dot go serviceaccount.com?
That's just what it calls it. Yours was that way too. It adds that.
Yeah, but it was Niantic.com.
No.
Oh yeah, sorry, yep. Service account, I've got it, yep.
Yeah. And so, okay. Work. Please. There you go. Owner. Furnish. Enable. Add a product name. Come on. Work, please. 2. Okay. Maybe. Okay. So we got that one. New to calendar. Let's bring that over.
Just hang fire. Don't try it just yet.
Okay.
So you've got.
And now we can go to our.
So you show me the I am.
See how I do have my readingassessments.com, so on. Okay.
Still haven't got the organisation in there though.
Huh.
So, but service accounts.
Yeah. That's the one we created.
Domain name. Sorry, I just don't look at hide info panel.
See how I do have all of these in here. And there's the running assessments.
View the client ID. You will. Hide. Sorry.
This one?
No, cancel that.
Yeah, maybe scroll to the right there too. It looks like there's more stuff. To the. Oh, okay.
Well, you've got that. View the client ID, and it should give you the way you can change the name. Yeah, the link.
Yeah, there's a link that says View Client ID right below
End
the
of that line. Yep.
Okay. Create the credentials.
Yes.
Service account.
Yeah. No, you see here, that's wrong because you should have it. It's not linking that service account to it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I should add the here. Go to Google Calendar and enable it.
Definitely need that enabled.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Create
You may
credentials.
need credentials. Other.
Over, yeah. User, no, it's
That one, right? User data.
yeah.
What am I supposed to do now? There's nothing to do.
I think you're missing a step on this.
API client ID or service account.
Yeah,
So
service
if you
account.
wish, you can skip that. So, I guess this is just for the OAuth stuff.
No, you had to turn this on. I remember this.
Create an OAuth 2. Okay. But that just created an OAuth client, OAuth 2 client. Maybe I do need to verify domain owners to allow webhook. Well, that's something else. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I can go to mine, and mine is not verified.
Right. Service accounts. I'm not sure what I'm missing.
Okay, just try it with that. I know only because you just enabled the calendar.
Unable to connect the calendar with that new one there. It won't connect.
Just click the disconnect, will you? Because you've got it connected already.
Nothing. Disconnect. Connect. Won't do it.
Come out and go back in of just that window.
No. David, does yours appear with your domain here too? Like on Andy's?
That's a good question. I'd have to figure out how to get back into it.
Console developers.
I think it was under. Yeah, probably not on this guy then.
Identity. Quotas. Service accounts. Yeah. This one's on this one. If I select that one. Open.
That's an organization, that one.
All right. But it's not viewable for organizations, so you really can't add it that way.
Just go to the identity for me, please.
Okay.
For that. Manage users.
I think that's what I clicked on here. And these are my users that I have in the system. I mean, they're somewhere. There I am. Should I tell it something?
Oh, sorry, I'm just waiting for mine. Won't be a second.
Maybe I should just add admin roles to my user. I'll do super admin to me. And then I can use my user to play with. Okay, so I'm a super admin now. And I can do whatever. Oops.
Right, Roberto. Let's
Yeah.
go back. Let's go back one then. Go back to the console for me, please.
Let me do it from my account since I already have access. So let's go to console. now it says all kinds of junk. Okay. Okay.
Okay, select project. Let's do a brand new project.
This is different.
Console.cloud, console.developers.
Oh. console.developers.google.com. Is that it? That's it.
Yep.
All right. So I'm back to mine because now I have permissions to do all this junk. So
Okay, the ... top right.
organization policies, settings.
Settings. Let's have a quick look under settings.
And there it is. I see my organization name and that's it. I can't even edit it.
Yeah, you see that's different because on mine I've got the project. Oh, you're under the organization, that's why.
Right.
Choose the project and then settings. Yeah. So you got that project number, yeah, so on and so forth. Right. Happy with that. Okay. Let's go back to service accounts here now.
Service accounts.
Left hand side, yeah.
Service accounts. There we go.
Right.
I created that in there.
Delete that and let's get rid of the JSON files. We'll go with that because you're getting the right mishmash going on here.
All right. I'm just going to delete all my JSON files, my new ones. Okay, they're gone. All right.
Okay. So create service account. Just bear with us when you do that. Bring it, okay, yeah.
Could it be the role? Maybe I need to select some other role? Like maybe I am, or what role do you have? Role administrator, service accounts?
I'm organizer and organization administrator.
Organization policy?
No.
You have organizer? I don't have organizer.
No, I have owner and then organization administrator.
On owner.
The owner was up at the top then. So if you go
on the project,
yeah.
Project owner.
So you got owner, but okay. I also have I don't know.
Add another role.
Yeah, but I don't really think that's the thing. But I have organization administrator.
Where is that? Organization policy viewer.
No.
Container, cloud, billing. I don't see organization administrator anywhere.
No, I don't. Okay.
I'm sure with owner it should be enough, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay. Calendar share, so it's called calendar share. The thing's called my calendar. Okay, service account name is calendar share. Service account ID, calendar share at.
Should I save it? Do it?
Yep, okay.
Okay, we'll call it. Okay. Anything else?
Quickly, let's just try that one.
Calendar share. Unable to connect. So. If I go to the EMs, or maybe I should have. What was this one? Calendar share.
Sorry, I was looking at mine. That's just a filter. What?
Identity, service accounts, and that's in there. That's just a filter. I don't know what to create.
I'll go through the steps myself with a separate brand new domain. Do it for the. I've got another particular thing I can set it up on. I'll have to do a step-by-step guide.
Mm-hmm.
Because going around in circles here and not really getting far.
It's not working. I don't know. I could have something not right in my domain, but I doubt it. I mean, my emails work and so on. Service accounts. No, okay.
Yeah, no, I'll have to go through. I'll probably rewatch the old one, but yeah, we've got an actual separate business, so I can actually set it up live on that. You know, so it's just basically do a step by step.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I made for a bit disheartening, but never mind. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have got a quick question from Jesper on South Path, but let's see if we can quickly get to him. Hi.
Hi, Andy.
How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Warm here in Denmark.
Yeah.
So, and we're not used to that, so that's different.
Same here.
So, Andy, I have two small questions.
Okay.
One concerning the report control.
Okay.
When I do a group loading and I have a date in the format that I'm listing, I also need to have this cell value to put sort on it.
Yes. Yeah.
Could it be where you have all these columns overriding a checkbox added to cell value as well?
I see what you mean, because you're priming your group up, and yeah, you've probably got that as a string, maybe a string 10 or something like that, so you can actually have it as 09, 07, that kind of thing. But of course, behind the scenes, you want it to be 76,000, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So yes. Let me just bring the screen back to myself. Yes, yeah, we could look at that. The other thing you'd want to do in the meantime, until you've got that, is after you've primed up the group and added the row, just for the date column, you could do set row cell value just for that one column. It's still going to be more efficient because that's all I'm going to do behind the scenes. So you could just do a set row cell value for that one column, for that one row, one cell. Sorry, one row, one column. So it's, let's say the row number is whatever your counter is, and the column happens to be the date, whatever, blah, blah, blah date. Then the parameters would be the row ID, the column ID, and then the actual raw Clarion date. So you're still getting the efficiency of setting the overall data in one pass via the group, but then you're just going to have to update one row. So there will be a slowdown in it. But yeah, we could look at putting an extra on the column overrides to say this is a date and what picture, because then if I can detect it's a date and a picture, I can deformat it as it's calculating the actual values and captions.
Yeah.
And then if we allow for the picture, it covers everybody's scenario.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, that could be padded out. So yes, that's perfectly doable. And the docking pane one.
Docking pane. Sometimes I want instead of having two exactly the same procedure, because sometimes I want to have it just to pop up and not be in the docking pane. If they should select the record. And sometimes I think it would be nice to just have it to pop up instead of being in the docking pane. So if we could pass a parameter to the procedure and make it not in the docking pane.
You can pass a parameter to it. Okay, so what you should be able to do, I don't know if this would help, but you can pass a parent thread number.
I do that already. You don't understand. If I have this docking panes and I have if I have to choose a zip code from somewhere in one of the fields, I wanted to jump out of the docking panes instead of being a part of the docking panes.
Right.
I can easily make that happen by making two procedures exactly like each other, and just without your check mark being a part of a docking pane.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, we definitely don't want to have multiples. That's not very good. It defeats the object. So run the scenario. You've got a window open. Let's say it's select. You've got a window open which is part of the docking panes and actually hosted in a pane.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So right, it's going to be awkward. So you've got that in a pane, but you also want to use the same procedure again, but not as a pane. You want it to just pop up as a window.
Yeah.
And you already passed. Where are we on the child? You pass a parameter to it for
this parent. Yeah.
Parent.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that one just about it as a parameter as well.
So if you pass a thread, that should do it for you, shouldn't it? No, because it shouldn't see that is waiting to be opened. Let me have a quick look. So let's run this example. Okay, Clarion procedures. Okay, so we've got the browse, which obviously that's taking that. So if I was to restart, call that browse again now, you're saying that how are you starting it on a new thread when you call it again?
No, I'm calling on the same thread.
Oh, that's it's already running on that same thread. So if you can't have it pop out, it won't. Once it's docked, it won't come out. Oh, it's not its intention anyway.
Yeah. You see, if you have to choose a zip code number, and you have in another place where they can also enter zip code numbers, then I have to make two procedures. One where they can enter them with update, delete, and that, and another procedure where they can select it. The zip code.
Okay, let me just try on here then. Okay, so on that example, So we've got not that. We've got pane, and we've got a browse, and it's called window browse.
Mhm.
Now I need to give it basically a way of calling it again. So for now, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to give that a menu. Browse to. Okay. Yeah.
Så der er et stort stykke arbejde foran os. Men vi har ambitioner, vi har idéer til, at det skal være. Men store ambitioner, og for store ambitioner, det går også fint.
Okay.
Store ambitioner. Så ser det ikke
Cool. Okay. So obviously I know I can start. That should. Just want to check that doesn't re-put that in the same pane holder.
Yeah.
So we've got that. We've got a menu. Called browse to.
Så tænk på, jeg synes, du skal forestille dig, hvis vi får en tur start.
All it's doing is bringing that into focus because it knows it's already open.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, crikey. No, that's not. That parent's not going to do it for you.
No, the parents not going to do it.
Okay. No. Let me try.
Det må gerne svare på, altså, du har sagt det før, at vi kommer nærmere. Ja, det synes jeg, vi er. Derfor man kan være tæt på, så er du vel her.
Wrong one. Sorry. Pane browse.
Jeg synes, vi har fundet et...
Going to pass it a 0.
Nysgerrigt i forhold til, hvad jeg tror på, hvad synspunkter.
No, won't. I'll pass it.
Plan i forhold til det, jeg synes. Det tror jeg, vi har tid nok til lige det studie her.
Right. So when it's called off the pane, it wants to take that as a parameter.
Yes.
When it's called under code, I'm going to pass it just a plain old 0.
Yeah.
Obviously, that needs it's going to have to be a string because it's started. But no.
Det er jo det evige synspunkt, har i forhold til at skabe penge. Det er, at de store tjekker skal
Quite a lot of background noise there. Okay, P. Bedno. So called there, that's fine. Started afresh. But you don't want it on a separate thread anyway. You want it just to pop up.
Yeah, I just it's on a form. When you're on a form, I want to
You want it to be a lookup.
Yeah.
Actually, I could look at global. I've got just an idea. wouldn't be the answer for you now, but it's just I'm bouncing an idea around. It's that.
Sin deltagelse i årets Tour de France. Men i dag beviser amerikaner, at han fortsat kæmper hårdt på sport.
Der var også mange, der havde spurgt vores
Stiller til start med, lad os kalde det en kvart Craddock.
Oh ja.
Første etape var der sker en
Okay. So just thinking. Hang on, it is opening. It's just behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was opening
Yeah.
before. Because it's just, yeah, it was opening before. Just close that.
And the best thing I can do right now is actually just keep moving.
Okay, so did we actually need that other code?
Og han nok glæde sig over, at den etape, der venter i morgen, er en af de nemmere, i hvert fald en af de mere flade, men så bliver det let. Vi må se, hvor hurtigt det skal og høre på den. Men det ligner i hvert fald en etape endnu en gang til sprinterne i gang. Det ser sådan ud, og igen, så synes vi hektisk finale. Så ja, spændende afslut.
No, that's not doing anything anyway.
Er det så det, som vi ligesom har set, så frem på det tema, vi skal se?
Yeah, because basically, that's what I was thinking with the. So same again here. I was keeping an eye on the MDI area there. Yeah, it should open, just as a normal window. But that's because of its parentage. Basically, on here, it's told parent thread number. Now, the idea behind that is, if you pass it a parent thread number, it will have a look if a docking pane is running on that thread, which is waiting for a window called, and whatever your window is. So, is it waiting for one called window_browse on a particular thread? So, for example, we load here, and it knows that this window here is going to call window_browse, and this might be thread number 3. So it passes it in, and it says, are you waiting on thread number 3 for window browse? Yes, you are. Right, I'm the one you're waiting for, and it puts itself in that position and docks accordingly. Okay. Now, if you pass it a 0, it will automatically say, oh, you've not specified, so just any will do. So what we really should have called here is, when we called it there, we should have really passed it something like, a large number. So basically, rather than 0. It worked because it already had its content opened, but to be doubly sure, so there it said basically thread number 2 is waiting for a window_browse. So when that opened, it knew its parent was waiting for it, and it came in accordingly. Brilliant. This time we've opened it, but it is on another thread, of course. We've opened it, and nothing is waiting for it, so it will naturally just open as a normal window because it's got no parent to put itself to.
Okay.
So, but that would have to be on its own thread. Just calling it directly, I'm not sure. We'll try, but you won't be able to because it's an MDI child, so you've got to start it on a thread. Actually, that's not quite true. No, sorry, ignore that. Forget that, and we'll just say window_browse.
Yes.
Tour de France nu bliver kl. 18 nyheder og sports, og så bemærken om aftenen kl. 18:20, der er der altså
Okay. Now we're going to start it. Can't get to it because it's behind. I have to press escape. So there, it's behind.
No.
Now so it is there. It's active. Just like that's a non-MDI window. Let me close that window. All right, let's go there. Call it. And there it is.
Yes.
So I'd use the parentage, the parent thread.
Okay.
That makes sense?
I'll give it a try. See if you can make it work.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ryan.
No problem. Okay, well, apologies for the Google bit in the middle, which caught us out and stumped us. It is, in fairness, over a year since we did that. I will, as promised, look at the actual particular steps. Completely different organisation, and we'll just go through the steps accordingly, so we can replicate and document them as to what the steps are. I'm fairly convinced there was 3 of them. We're just going to be missing one, but we'll do the 3, document them, and that can go out actually with the example app, which would help, dramatically. There is no webinar next Monday. No user group webinar next Monday. I'm away in France, so rather than try and organise it, and we had problems last time with all the comms and so on, I'm just we'll just have to skip it, and I will see you the week after. Okay, and with that we shall tie it up. So thank you everybody, and I shall see you soon.